we're going to be learning how to create new projects on the server using the Python Tableau Server client. Okay, so okay, but what do we understand by project? A project is a subset of a folder. Okay, that's how I'm going to define it. It's a subset of a folder located on your Tableau Online, and in there you can have multiple projects whereby you can keep your workbooks, you can keep your data sources on the server. Okay, so now let's go to Tableau Online and see what is there. So in here, if you go to this is our Tableau Online that you're going to be using, and in here, if you click on Manage Project, and you're going to find out that there is a default project in here. We have the sample. So inside this default project, you're going to see that we have presently it is still empty, but as time goes on, we're going to publish different data sources to the default project, to the sample, and all that. Okay, cool. So for example, now we have the regional workbook, we have samples store workbook and all that, right? And we have a data source. Okay, but now what we want to do is, instead of having default and sample project, we want to have another project. So what we're going to do is we're going to create new projects using the Tableau Server client. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, let's jump to this, and let's jump to this and create new project. Okay, so I'm not going to show us how to log into this to Tableau Server or Tableau Online again, because that has been covered in the first part of this video. Okay, but today we're just going to log in, then we'll create new project. Okay, so what I want you to do, what I want you to know is the project is actually in hierarchy. Okay, so you can have the top level project, you can have the subfolder, or let me say sub project. There's actually a child to the parent project. Okay, so now how am I going to create my parent project? Okay, the way to do that is, let's say I have my top level project. Okay, so now for me to create my project, there's actually an endpoint. Okay, so there's an endpoint that actually deals with project store. So the endpoint is project. Okay, notice the capital letter P. Okay, so now the project items. Okay, cool. So now we are going to specify different attributes. Okay, so we are going to specify the name, we're going to specify the content, permission, we're going to specify the description of the project that we want to create. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to say my name, the name of the project. Okay, so say, for example, I want to name the project production, because that's what is going to show on the server. Okay, we're going to look that, check that, and don't forget what I said. I said we're going to check the name, we're going to include the name, we're going to include the content permission, and we're going to include the description. Okay, so so let's have the content permission. Sorry about that. So we're going to have content permission. Okay, now the content permission is, do you want it to be managed by the owner or okay, so but what I want it to be managed is, I want it to be managed by the owner. All right, so I'm just going to give it managed by owner, then the description. Okay, so the description, right, now description is going to be okay, let's give it project. Okay, so the description is going to be project ready for the production, ready for production. Okay, ready for production, or in the production stage. Okay, so let's just give it production. ready for production. Okay, cool. Okay, now we have been able to include all the attribute. All right, so now okay, so now what we need to do is now to create it, and to do that we're just going to say, okay, let me say we're going to say top level underscore project, and it's going to be equal to server. So it's going to be server.project, then project.create. Okay, and what do we want to create? We want to create this top level project. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and so that we can be so sure that we have been able to create our first project, I'm going to print it out. So it's going to print the project information to the view. Okay, so it's going to print top level project. Okay, cool. So now, if everything looks fine, then we should be able to see production on the server. Okay, so okay, let's execute this and see what is going to happen. Oh, cool. So in here we have an unexpected key argument, and what this is telling us is there is actually an error with what we are supposed to. Oh, got you. So in here we're supposed to add content permissions. So it's supposed to be S. We're supposed to have S included. Okay, so okay, cool. So we can see that this has been created. Okay, but we need to be very sure that this has been created. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Tableau online, and I'm going to refresh this. So if I refresh this, okay, cool. So I can see that I have my production. Okay, but I might want to add more interesting stuff. So say for example, I want to create another project. So I'm just going to say project, but this time around I'm going to TSC dot project, then item. I'm going to specify the name, and the name I want to give it, actually want to create a project for the development. Okay, development. Okay, cool. So now the content permissions is also is also going to be managed by owner. Okay, so it's going to be managed by owner, managed by the owner, of the server. Okay, cool. So now the description is going to be let's say project under development. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to say project under development. Okay, cool. And I'm going to go to the next line, and I'm going to write top level project. Okay, cool. So I'm going to have top level project equal to server. Okay, cool. And project dot create. Okay, cool. So for this time around, I'm going to give it the top. Okay, let me give it a different name. So this one is going to be 1, and this one is going to be 1, and this one is going to be top level project. Okay, 1. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to print it so that I can be very sure. Okay, so I'm going to print. Okay, cool. I'm just going to print top level project. Okay, and okay, cool. So I'm going to comment this out. Okay, cool. So now let me execute this and see what it's going to give us. And in here, boom, so we're good. Okay, now let's go back to Tableau Online and check if that can be available. If we have that available, right? So cool. So we can see that we have development, production, we have default, we have sample. In a way, you can automate this process. Probably you want to have 100 projects for different persons. Probably you want to have a project folder for your interns and all that, for your students in the company, all those things. You can actually automate it so that you can execute it at once. Okay, so in a bigger company, you might have 10,000 projects. You need to manage all those things, and that's actually where your Tableau Server client actually shines. So you can actually programmatically implement stuff. All right, so thank you, and I want to believe that you actually enjoyed the video. So if you enjoyed the video, kindly hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. All right, thank you.